Good morning, Brian Early here on August 1st with another agronomy update coming from the field. If you would have told me I'd be covering this subject at the beginning of the year, I would have been very shocked. This is not something that we see around these parts very often, and if we do, it's extremely late. So, starting last week, I found the picture on the right, the patch of southern rust in Carroll County, and then found more throughout the week. Not only like the one I have in Cass County, but I've seen it in Tipton, Fulton, and all the counties that would be in the Wabash River Valley or the kind of that surrounding area. So this is a disease that I will see blow up here every few years, but typically it's late August, early September, way too late for it to do any damage. So with our south type weather we've had this year, this it's not a surprise that this disease is a lot more prevalent than it ever has been in the past. But it's I don't remember the storms that came from the southern direction very much this year, so a little surprising it showed up that way. So a little about southern rust. It doesn't overwinter here, like I alluded to in the previous screen. It does have to be blown up from the south. Obviously, that happened this year, and it likes hot, humid conditions. So these past 3, 4 weeks are the ideal breeding ground for southern rust. Like tar spot, it's very aggressive in nature. When it gets established, it reproduces rather quickly and does blighting on the plant. So this is the reason I'm covering this today is not necessarily to say we have a problem on our hands, but to be diligent and watch your corn and deep into the reproductive cycle, which I'll cover here in a minute. So this is one to keep an eye on. There's no fields that I've seen even close to treatable levels, but the fact that this disease is here and the conditions are kind of conducive for it, something that we want to watch for. Fungicides are a real effective tool on southern rust as well as varieties as well. So kind of like that tar spot message, fungicide and variety make a big difference in combating it. So I alluded to stages. Most of the corn in north central and central Indiana right now is anywhere from blister stage to the soft dough stage, depending on when it was planted. So April corn to the south is a lot of it is in the late milk soft dough stage. As you get further north and looking at May, mid-May planting time, we're just getting stuff blistered up. So there's a pretty big difference between geography to show differences there. So you look at my kernels up there, it corresponds, excuse me, to the stage. So I would say the majority of the corn that was planted in May is at that top left picture, the R2 stage or the blister stage, and then most of the corn to the south are planted earlier is in that R3 stage. So we want to watch for southern dent clear to that early stage, that early dent stage. So for instance, if you are at that late milk, early dough stage, you only got 5 or 10 days really where that's going to be worth your time to scout. And if you haven't made a fungicide application already, to put it on for southern rust. So you get further north, definitely want to be watching the corn for a couple more weeks at least. So that's it on southern rust. I'm just going to finish up with this graphic here today. A lot of us know that the rain and the temperatures have been wildly different this year. Starting on the left, the temperature difference, it's really unique to see the difference this year between the eastern and the western corn belt. So eastern corn belt, we have all that humidity and drier conditions definitely shows up. So not something that we see all the time. And then you look closer to home to the right graph, precipitation. This is the 2 month departure from normal. And you can kind of see the really dry triangle. So the Galveston, the Lafayette, up to Monticello, over to Rochester. That particular rectangle through there has been extremely dry. Kind of been on the dry side for almost a year now. But despite that, we still have a pretty good crop cooking in a lot of conditions. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Have a good day.